Hello and welcome to another episode of Alter Your Health. We are live on Facebook and Instagram, and it is your source. This podcast is your source of information and inspiration to promote the transformation of your health and the health of our planet. That's what it's all about on this show. And we're so happy to be with you live on a Thursday afternoon, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Pacific, and that's when we do our live recordings. But if it's your first time stopping in, welcome. We are so glad that you are here, and we encourage you to stick around because we got some good stuff coming your way today on the topic of household toxins that could be lurking in your cabinets and sabotaging your health. So I think this is really important stuff. We've talked around it at various points in other conversations on other podcast episodes, but I think we're going to tackle it head on today.
We are, yeah. And I can't believe we haven't talked about this topic yet because it is such a major topic. I mean, our practice really focuses on the foundations of health, the determinants of health. And one of those determinants of health is air and water, the environment around us.
And food.
And food, of course.
We talk a lot about food, but
we do.
There's stuff to know beyond food that is so important for our bodies to heal themselves.
Right. So like how foods can be an avenue to bring toxins into the body, you better believe that our household products and our body care products are also great mediums to bring in those toxic compounds. So we are going to expose some of the brands that are the most toxic, and you might be surprised because these are very common household products. But really why this is so important is because a lot of these chemicals have been linked with serious disease. Many of them are considered carcinogens. Many of them irritate asthma, respiratory issues. Many of them cause skin allergies. Many of them cause reproductive issues. So when we look at the state of our health, how we as a population are moving more and more towards chronic illness, and at the same time we see that our public spaces are being filled with more and more chemicals, it's
no coincidence.
It's no coincidence, exactly.
And before we dive into this really important stuff, I just had the thought to take a fraction of a step backwards to understand one really important principle of healing. And as we know that the body does in fact heal itself, our most important role as physicians and global citizens is to remove the obstacles that might be preventing our bodies from healing, because our bodies do heal themselves. They do. It's just a fact. So the first thing that we need to do in order to heal is to just get anything out of the way that might be coming in the way of our body's ability to heal itself. And there are thousands of things that can be getting in the way. And one thing that also gets in the way is our thoughts and our stress. So we're gonna, be unloading a lot of information your way, but we also want to remind you that there's no need to over stress about these kind of things and to become neurotic and, run and hide and live in a bubble. That's not the answer. The answer is just living mindfully, just having some conscious awareness of how we can live in a way that supports our bodies in optimizing health and healing.
Exactly. So should we dive into some of these products?
Yeah, Susanna has been, filling her brain with some really important stuff. And this stuff, it's important to know that this information is always changing and evolving because it's kind of the frontier of science in so many ways, because so many of these chemicals are new in our world. So we really don't know that much about a lot of this stuff. But as we evolve in this experiment of our lives, because we never ever in the history of humanity have humans been exposed to these sort of chemicals. We don't know what they're doing to us, so we're learning as we go. The human race is.
Exactly. Okay, so I will start by saying I have gotten all of my information today from a really great resource that I recommend you all check out, and that is the Environmental Working Group websites. So ewg.org, they have a website specifically for household products and also a website specifically for body care products, makeup, cosmetics, all that stuff. And so the way that the website categorizes all of these different household products is a rating scale A through F. F fails, obviously. F is like the most toxic thing you could bring into your house. A is very clean, no health risks at all, and then there's everything in between. So let's start with one of the most common household products, the all-purpose cleaner. We love the all-purpose cleaner, right? If there's a spill on the counter, on the floor, on the whatever, you know, it's the all-purpose cleaner. It's great for everything.
Yeah, so what are the things that are found in conventional all-purpose cleaners that we should be mindful of?
Well, I don't really want to focus on the specific ingredients because they're all a mouthful. You probably won't remember them anyway.
And we probably will have a hard time pronouncing them too.
Yes, exactly. But I want to point out 3 very common all-purpose cleaners that are category F.
Okay. So you're not going to focus on the specific ingredients, but just the names of the products.
The names of the products and their health concerns. So who out there uses Pine Sol? Anyone? What about 409? I mean, we see 409 everywhere.
I've heard of these things.
And then there's one called Fantastic. I haven't used it myself, but in the past, I certainly used 409. So these are 3 of the really common all-purpose cleaners. And when we look at the health concerns of their ingredients, we see respiratory effects, we see general systemic organ effects. That's very vague, but you better believe that includes the health of the liver, because any toxin that is absorbed through our skin goes straight through to our liver.
Yeah. Do you know, Susanna, I don't know if you came across this in your research here, but are these chemicals coming into our bodies through our skin, or are we breathing them in, or are we eating them? Are they, staying on the surfaces that we're cooking on or eating from, for example, or is it kind of a combination probably of all those things?
It's definitely a combination of all the things. Some of these things, like for example, these all-purpose cleaners, there's been concern about developmental and endocrine reproductivity effects. Those are going to be from, either coming through our skin or breathing it in or ingesting it. But we also see some concerns like how these chemicals can trigger asthma and also respiratory allergies. That's going to be more obviously because they are coming through our respiratory passageways. And then the skin irritation and eye irritation, that's also going to be more of a contact irritant kind of mechanism, of course.
And then there are the systemic effects,
yes,
reproductive and whatnot.
Right, which are really the most concerning effects.
Yeah.
We have talked in the past at length about how toxins bioaccumulate in the body. They are stored in our liver, they are stored in our fat cells, and over time, when we have more and more of these chemicals in our system, our organs can't keep up with it. Our liver can't keep up with this heavy burden.
Got it. So there's not one specific chemical to avoid that we have identified in these products. It's just the combination. They haven't tweezed out the main offenders.
Right, and I'd say, well, especially in the all-purpose cleaner, there are a lot of chemicals. It's a chemical kind of cocktail. In other things like detergents, which we'll get onto, there are specific ingredients that are really the main offender. But in all-purpose cleaner, there's just so many chemicals. But let's talk about some good brands, right?
All right, so all-purpose cleaner, we want to avoid the 409 Pine Sol. What was the other one?
Fantastic.
Okay, haven't heard of that one. But,
there's also, you need to be really aware of greenwashing, which is a marketing term that describes, taking something that's, kind of conventional or toxic, but making it seem like it's good and healthy for you.
Like they sprinkle in some essential oils or something. So they say, natural, scents or something.
Right, or sometimes they just slap on a green label and say, this is good for you. One of those examples is an all-purpose cleaner called Simple Green Concentrated All-Purpose Cleaner.
I've used that.
What? You have?
I remember someone told me that was a good product to clean my bike with.
Ooh, so this one has a specific ingredient, 2-butoxyethanol, which when absorbed through the skin, damages red blood cells.
I was anemic for years.
That must have
when
been
I
it.
was riding bikes and cleaning my bikes with Simple Green. Like, seriously.
Yeah. So also, this is a very misleading product because it's a concentrate, but it comes in a spray bottle.
Oh.
So on the label, it says you're supposed to dilute it.
Whoops.
But it's in a spray bottle, which implies you're just supposed to use it and spray it. So there's a lot of misleading marketing out there, unfortunately.
Oh boy, well, they definitely got me on that one.
Yeah.
And green, yeah, it was like Simple Green. And just the word green, it's my favorite color. I'm wearing a green shirt. Green is like natural, the earth, trees, grass.
Exactly.
Like green. So I got greenwashed.
You got greenwashed. But some safe brands for all-purpose cleaners are Ecos, if you've heard of Ecos, Whole Foods Market Organic All-Purpose Spray, Green Shield, Mama Suds. If any of these ring a bell, that's great. You do still have to be aware, like, not all Ecos products are good. Not all Whole Foods Market products are good. You'll see later on that the Ecos detergent is actually rated at a C. So what I recommend is, if you are really concerned about the rating of your household products, just go to ewg.org and type it in. They have like 3,000 products, and more likely than not, your product will be in that database, so you can really see the ingredients and all of their health effects.
Great. So even though there's a natural brand, that doesn't mean that all products that brand produced are healthy and clean and optimal to use.
Exactly.
Got
exactly. It. Yeah. So moving on to detergent.
And we're talking about like
laundry
cleaning
detergent.
Clothes, laundry.
Exactly.
I do laundry every once in a while.
Yes, we do. And so I grew up with my mom using Tide, and I remember I loved the smell of it. Well, Tide is by far the most toxic of all of them. Every single Tide, whether it is fragrance-free, for sensitive skin, they are all category F. And there's an ingredient in detergents called sodium borate. And this specific ingredient has high concern for reproductive effects, developmental effects, and also concern for skin irritation, allergies, and respiratory effects. And we see many of our clients being sensitive. They might have skin reactions to using conventional detergents like Tide. So makes sense.
And then, I don't want to get off track at all too much, but it's like we're using Tide, and then we're using shampoo that has all these things that it's whole nother can of worms, and then soap and lotions, a whole nother can of worms, and deodorant and perfumes, a whole nother can of worms. So it's like not necessarily one thing, but the accumulation that just bombards our system can lead to chronic things like eczema and allergies and chemical sensitivities and these sort of things. So
Yeah, and what also comes in detergents are the artificial fragrances, which are, category D in all products.
Oh, wow. I would assume that artificial fragrances would be F.
I know, me too. But also, the main concern for those are respiratory effects. And also, they have studied that these compounds used for artificial fragrances are toxic to aquatic life, kills aquatic life. So it makes sense that it probably wouldn't be good for human life either, right?
Aquatic life, well, and I also like to remember that human life is dependent on the life of our ecosystem, our water and our forests. So yeah, when we're killing aquatic life, yikes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so also OxyClean is in the same category. Believe it or not, a company called Greenworks is category F. There's some more greenwashing for you. Gain is another popular one. Ajax. This list isn't complete, but these are just some of the names that,
Some of the Fs.
some of the more common Fs.
And these are for the detergents still, right?
Exactly. And even Whole Foods brand 365 concentrated liquid laundry detergent was F. So you really, you have to be careful. Not all Whole Foods products are going to be good. Yeah, but some of the good brands are, what's funny is that there's a 369. Sorry, 369.
So stay away from 365. 369 is a good brand.
No. I meant 365 by Whole Foods.
Oh.
Yep. So same brand, just different product. The unconcentrated, unscented 369. 365.
Why are we saying 369?
I don't know. It just rolls off the tongue. 365 detergent is actually category A.
Okay, so unscented. So in that case, we're good.
Yeah, this is where it gets confusing, Also, Aspen Clean is a very good brand. Attitude, Better Life, Green Shield, and the 7th generation packets are safe, but not the liquid detergent.
Don't we use the liquid?
Yeah, we do. I know. This was a wake-up call for us, too.
Yeah, okay.
The category C for the liquid detergent, which is not as bad as F, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And this just, what's coming to my mind now, the next podcast episode, which will be released next week on Monday, of course, and maybe for those people who are listening now, listening to the recording, you have access to that. I'm talking with an emergency room doctor, Dr. Sarah Villafranco, who has created a natural skin and beauty care company called Osmia Organics, which is local here in Carbondale. And we get into some of this stuff as well, more specifically concerning the topical stuff, soaps and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll breeze through a few more of these products now that we've kind of got our rhythm going. So another really common product are dryer sheets. Who loves dryer sheets?
I don't even really know what they do. What the heck?
Well, they're supposed to soften the fabric and give it a nice smell.
Oh.
And let me just tell you, there are no A category dryer sheets. There are only 3 B category dryer sheets that I found, and those are 7th generation, Drops, and Attitude.
Just don't use dryer sheets, guys. just don't.
Yeah. You don't need to. You can use instead tennis balls. You can use, they make these nice felt balls that you can put in there, and you can put some essential oils on them if you want to. But anyway, your kind of conventional dryer sheets like Gain, Arm & Hammer, Purex, those are all category F. All the other ones are category F. So those are best to just leave out. Same with liquid laundry softener, which I've never used before, but those are all very bad. Okay, and then moving on to the topic that I'm most excited to talk about.
All right, well, and
that's air fresheners.
Cool.
Because air fresheners seem to be everywhere in our world these days. So let's talk about what I found in category F. Febreze, of course. Citrus Magic, another greenwashing example. Airwick, Glade plugins, those cool trendy plugins. These ingredients in these air fresheners cause skin irritation, respiratory allergies. Also, there is concern for cancer, potential carcinogenic effects. Also, developmental and reproductive effects. So the only A I found was a company called Earth Friendly Products, and they were actually discontinued. So
that's a bummer.
That is a bummer. But what we always use instead is essential oils, because those are actually medicinal for you.
Yeah, we've got a diffuser that kind of humidifies as well, so we're into that from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Were there any other things that you wanted to cover?
I did want to speak a little bit about some of the specific chemicals that are found in common beauty products, cosmetic products. So I'll go through those really fast. Formaldehyde is a big one. Though formaldehyde is found in hair straighteners, nail hardeners, and it's a common preservative. It's banned in Europe, Canada, many Asian countries, and Australia, but we still use it here in the US. And it is carcinogenic. So that's a really bad, it also obviously has allergic responses in our respiratory system and our skin. Then there are the phthalates. So dibutyl phthalate, diethyl hexyl phthalate. These are found in nail polish, perfumes, eyelash adhesive. Did I say fragrances already? I said perfumes. And these all lead to reproductive issues, both in men and women. But we've seen in men it can cause early puberty, and it can also affect developing fetuses. So
you can look at a product and read the ingredients, right? And if you see any phthalates, which is a hard word to say and spell, it's PH, right? Or
exactly.
PTH.
Yeah.
PTH.
And a lot of clean products will say phthalate free on the cover.
But that doesn't mean that they don't have parabens.
Which is my next category.
Yeah.
So parabens, those are usually used as a preservative, and they are also an endocrine disruptor, which means they mess with your hormones. Specifically, parabens tend to mimic estrogen. So that can lead to a whole host of issues. And then there's a toxin called toluene, which is commonly found in nail polish and hair dye.
Yeah.
And this one is toxic to the brain, nervous system, and also developing fetuses. Then there's triclosan, which is an antimicrobial agent that is found in many deodorants, mouthwashes, hand sanitizers, shaving creams, toothpastes, and triclosan has been found to affect our thyroid health and, again, reproductive hormones.
And I know also a lot of deodorants also have aluminum in them, right? Is that an antiperspirant?
Yeah, I don't even have that on my list.
But aluminum, Alzheimer's, developmental disorders, neurologic conditions.
Yeah.
These kind of things, like we kind of started with, just accumulate. So at some point there might be a straw that breaks the camel's back. So we just want to chip away at these kind of things.
Yeah. There's an agent called carbon black, which is a pigment used in eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick, which is a possible carcinogen. And then in some of our most favorite and often used cosmetics, lipstick, eyeshadow, blush, powder, shampoos, and lotions, many of them contain a small amount of lead. You know, the amount of lead that's legal in the US.
But if you're putting that on every day or a few times a day, I don't know, and it's like on your lips and getting in your mouth, you're like eating it. Yeah.
Exactly. So lead is most known for its negative effect on the nervous system. Really, really toxic heavy metal. And then asbestos. Can you believe asbestos is used in talcum powder, baby powder?
Oh, yeah.
It's also a carcinogen and can lead to lung disease if inhaled. So all the moms out there, we want to replace baby powder with talcum-free powder. And then there's an agent that I just have the acronym for because it's a long word, but PFAS. This is found in sunscreens, foundations, concealer, eyeliner, shaving cream, hairspray, and also is a risk for developing fetuses and disrupts our immune system and our hormones. And that was just a short list.
That is just a short list. And once again, the next podcast episode that's not yet released, but will be released next week, we talk about sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, which is a really common ingredient in a lot of these products as well. It's a sudser, and it can lead to a lot of chronic skin conditions, among other things. So there's thousands. This is an incomplete list, right?
Right, exactly.
And, but the point is, once again, not to become neurotic and crazy and stressed and scared, but to look at the labels and to consider what we are pouring in and on ourselves on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis, because these kind of things make a huge difference when we're talking about our health, our well-being, our body's ability to create and maintain health, reverse disease, and promote long, healthy life.
Yes. So to find some cosmetic and body care products that are safe and free of all of these ingredients, you can, again, go to the ewg.org website, and then they have a sub-website called Skin Deep, or they list
Okay.
all of their body care products. And there is mascara without all of this toxic stuff. There is foundation with all this toxic stuff. So it's just a matter of really educating yourself on what all of these toxins are, how they harm your body. Or you could be like me and just say, nope, no more makeup.
No more deodorant. No more soap. Just kidding, I use soap.
You'll save some money that way, to be honest. But I know that, you know, for many people, makeup is an artistic expression of themselves. So, you know?
Just try not to kill yourself, people. But anyways, you know, this was a great conversation. Thanks, Susanna, for doing a little diving into the product side of things. And just to highlight the fact that these are potential obstacles to your body's ability to heal itself. So, you know, the first thing we need to do is remove those things, remove these things. And then while we do that, we need to replace with more healthy options and also consider the other determinants of health, which we always talk about at length, and those are our food that we're eating. Of course, we spend the most time talking about that. Our air, our water, how we're breathing, the quality of our breath, the air that we're breathing and what we're drinking and how hydrated we are. These kind of things are really important. As well, we know as our thoughts and our relationships and our mental well-being. So we dive into all of this stuff to such great depth in our course that we recently launched called Medicinal Living. It's a 6-week online self-paced transformational journey that guides you into the driver's seat of your health and healing journey. And we provide action steps that you can take all along the way of this 6-week journey. And really, it's designed to just catapult you into greater health, feeling better, and reversing any chronic symptoms or diagnoses you might have.
And for our podcast listeners, because we love you so much, we want to give you the gift of getting 20% off of this online course.
Which is like actually a really great deal. It is.
It is a good deal. And so if you use the coupon code Alter Your Health,
one word,
you'll get 20% off.
So just go to www.alter.health/course, and then Alter Your Health is your code when you are checking out with the Medicinal Living course. And you'll have lifetime access, of course, to the course. And if you have any other questions, feel free to holler. Send us an email, reach out, whatever it may be. Thanks for your attention. I hope you enjoy the rest of your healthy day, and peace and love. Until next time.
Bye for now.